What's going on, folks? So we're going to be taking some cuttings from this beautiful hibiscus plant today. And so we're going to take some cuttings and we're going to try and start training the two currently rooted cuttings as bonsai. So here we go. I'm going to take it out of the pot here and separate it out. So let's see what we have. Okay. So decent amount of roots. Looks good. Not very root bound. Pretty lightly hot here. Okay, so I'm going to get a pot with some water in for the cuttings. So here we've got some water for the cuttings. And let's do that first. So with this, I think I'm going to leave this on, but take a cutting farther up, just to thicken up this bottom part, so it'll be like a sacrificial branch. So I'll take that one first. And there's some little buds forming on here. I'm going to take those off. Little flower buds. Don't need those. I'll take part of the leaves. The reason I'm taking off part of the leaves is to encourage root growth, so it doesn't lose too much water through transpiration. All right, next. I'm gonna go to, let's see, where can you see this? I'm gonna go to here. And again, I'm just going to cut this leaf in half. Take off any flower buds. Number 2. Next one here. We'll take it down to here. So this will be cutting number 3. Take off the flower buds. I think that's all the cuttings I'm going to take. I'm just going to leave it at that. I am going to take down the leaves here some. And now I'm just going to work the roots out here. And I'm going to take this big root off right there. And over here. Take this big root off. Alright, let's get these in a pot. Alright, so the soil I'm using today is a mix of turfus and perlite. It's about 30% pine bark. So that's what these guys are going to get potted in. So now I'm going to work the soil down in so that the roots are completely covered. I'm just using a chopstick to get the soil down in there. There's a giant ant. Alright, there's number one. Alright, so I got both these guys potted up. Next for the cuttings, so I'm going to get these guys, get this cleaned up first, and then get these watered, and then we'll get those cuttings in there. Alright, now it's time to get these cuttings into these pots. They're going to go in the propagation tub. So what we have here is just the sifted fines from the turfus and perlite mix. So I am going to put the camera down and get that going. I did water them in really well. The water ran through clear at the bottom and they're ready to go. I'm going to put them in a bright but shady spot and hopefully they'll take right off again. So now it's time to plant these cuttings. Alright, so I've got a couple leaves on there, and I'm just going to take anything on the nodes lower down off, make a nice deep spot for this guy to sit right down in there. done. Same deal with this guy. I'm going to take this big leaf off. This one. So here is cutting number 2. Nice and deep. And number 3. Take a couple of these leaves off. Alright, here is cutting number 3. Take these. Alright. So there we go. We got all 3 cuttings potted up. I'm going to put them in the propagation tub, and hopefully these guys will root pretty soon and start pushing out some new leaves. Put a little more water. It's been about 5 weeks since we separated these hibiscus and took the cuttings, and now we've got a nice, beautiful flower. We've got some cuttings. I don't think they're going to make it. I let them dry out, unfortunately. They got a little bit brown. There's still some green on there, so, you know, I'm going to let them be and see what happens, but, you know, I'm not convinced with the sifted bonsai vines as a potting mix. Yeah, I think you're at less of a risk of like fungi growing on there, but you're also at more of a risk of them drying out. So you know, we'll see if these guys make it. You know, I'm not too hopeful. They're looking pretty brown, but like this guy, look at this beautiful. If you're on my Instagram, you might have seen a time lapse of this guy opening up here. So I'm going to throw one on here just in case you're not on the Instagram, but